We got arena map here. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age of Empires 2 Divinity Edition replay. Spawn on bottom left side as the magenta Goths, we have Legion64. Spawn on the top right side as the green Spanish, the Singularity. Let's go and cover each player's civilization bonuses. It's also going to be arena, so it's going to be a nice long game likely. It does delete all of his walls right there. And all those as well. Very nice. Goths, infantry civilization. Infantry costs 20%, 25%, 30%, and 35% less per age. Infantry gets +1 attack per building starting feudal age. What that means, so it just prevents the militia rushes being extraordinarily effective. Villagers get +5 attack versus wild boar, which is very handy indeed, and they carry a bit more meat, so they don't really have to be directly underneath the town center. Still a good idea though. And also the boar lasts longer, giving a very, very good food boom when hunting boar, as well as deer. Loom, it can be researched instantly, which means you still have to pay the 50 gold for Loom. So it gives you some flexibility. If you don't want to go for Loom, you can go for something else. But if you want Loom, you get it instantaneously. And now, +10 population in Imperial Age. That is maximum population, so you can get 210 population in Imperial Age. Unique unit, the Huskarl, which is a very fast infantry unit, generally an anti-archer infantry unit. Unique text. Anarchy. Creates Huskarls of the barracks. Refusion. Barracks work 100% faster. If you want the Horde, the Goths is your Horde. That's not the Mongols, which is technically the Horde, but on horseback. Infantry Horde is the Goths. In Teams Barracks, Barracks works 20% faster, so 120% of work faster. I wonder if that's a multiplicative or an additive. By the way, let's switch over now to green. The Spanish. Nobody expects them. Gunpowder and monk civilization. That's what people do expect Spanish all the time. I'm trying to make sort of an Inquisition joke. Builders work 30% faster. Blacksmith upgrades don't cost gold. Cannon gallons benefit ballistics, not going to be useful here. Gunpowder units fire 80% faster, which is going to be very important against the Goths. Hand cannoneers will be very, very good. Receive +20 gold per technology research, not bad. And conquistadors. Mounted hand cannoneer. And the missionary is something you do with your wife. Unique text. Monks convert faster. Missionaries get +1 range, which against the infantry civilization, not really that useful, honestly. And supremacy. Villagers are stronger in combat. That's more of a meme technology, but can be occasionally good. Trade units generate +25% gold, which there's not going to be useful either way. Looks like that Snow Leopard will get gunned down. Looks like green's going for the relics. Green has claimed a single relic. We got a scout here. I hear hand cannoneers. They're trying to hit this wall segment, so it looks like green went for Castle Rage hand cannoneer rush. Pretty common. Hand cannoneer is a very, very good unit. And also the scouts gain some much needed health regen. Yay. If that's finally happened. Now we got the monk trying to convert some hand cannoneer conquistadors. People are trying to say mounted hand cannoneer, which is not entirely wrong. Monk trying to go some conversions there. Monk play by Magenta can be very useful since his one will likely go for these high valued units such as the hand can as the conquistador. Of course, he has the technology to help resist that sort of play. Let's see what monk technology he can. Very, very little. Herbal medicine, not going to be useful. Safety, nice to have. Faster movement speed can be useful. Units are harder to convert. That's not going to be really necessary because one's not going to try to convert a massive wave infantry. Regain the conversion faster as successful conversion. That can be very useful. Block printing without that, that's going to be a bit of a problem. And theocracy, that could be useful as a hand cannoneers. Trying to get some more converts, very nice. There's a large number of hand cannoneers on the field. So when you get those Huskarls out sooner rather than later, he could try going for a defensive castle along this wall line. Speaking of which, what is Magenta even doing at the moment? More villagers, he's just trying to stall out. He hasn't locked the gate. Going for a monk now, trying to go some more conversions. He actually did claim a conquistador there. Very, very nice. But now we've got more conquistadors being pulled out, as well as some petards. Relatively rare unit to see. The petard will help him blast down these walls. You need to make sure he targets the correct wall that he's already dealt a lot of damage to. Ooh! 15 health remaining. 9-0. Now there is a breach. Scouts pushing way forward as well to provide some good spotting for these missionaries since he's going to uncharted territory. And now we've got a militia here. He will save the day. And the militia is still actually alive. Conquistador captured, converted Conquistadors, push his way forward. And now the militia member will get gunned down. And the Conquistador will avoid that fire. Doing a good job of dodging. Conquistadors are not the second most accurate unit. Does manage to get another conversion there. Very nice. And does go and take out the Conquistadors as well. That scout could perhaps slice down the wounded wall segment, honestly. Trying to go for more conversions here. It does get a kill down Conquistador with the converted Conquistador. Does gun down the Conquistador. And the monk does get gunned down. And still, not a whole lot of active defense being pulled up by Magenta. You may want to get some... Okay, he's pulling out more monks. Going for handcart now. But right now, what's keeping Conquistadors back is the fact that he has town centers set up on a line there. So there's a line of town centers preventing these Conquistadors advancing forward. Conquistadors who have 6 range. Town centers have 6 range, so it's not a good trade. It does manage to get another conversion there on the scout. Okay, that was not a good conversion. Getting converting a Conquistador and then having the monk die for it as a trade is not entirely half bad. The Conquistador is what? 50, 60 gold. Monk is 100 gold. So you think that's a bad trade, but remember, you basically kill off what 60 gold unit, but gain a 60 gold unit, making a profit of basically I think it's about 120 gold. Of course, those Conquistadors are being quick gone down, not getting good profit there. Now I've got a castle being pulled up by green, as well as now emergency castle being pulled up by Magenta now. Green, well, Magenta may want to get out for a siege workshop to get out a quick battering ram or 2 to gauge that castle. That wouldn't be half bad. Though Murder Hole is still a possibility. He has a barracks right here. It does gun down the monk. Now I may see a bit of a castle war. Yep, looks like Magenta's castle will get the first strike. He may want to get... he doesn't have any sort of archery unit to get inside the castle, can he? Well, the Conquistadors can load up inside the castle, getting some extra arrows and hitting the town center severely. And that's the one going from Pure Rage. He may need to force repair that town center in order to get his Pure Rage. He needs to get one of the villagers repairing it up. He may have all town centers selected and then select on Pure Rage. Not really that the one that's under fire is the one that is trying to get the upgrade. You also got another 4 town centers being put up by green. We've got stone and gold right next to each other. Relatively close there as well. There's actually not a whole lot of outcropping of gold and stone in the middle map, so if Spanish player can take time to secure the gold primarily, not necessarily the stone. Whoops, I actually clicked off the game. He can get deny all that gold from his opponent. The town center needs repairs. He needs that in Pure Rage. He's not paying attention, is he? That town center is severely wounded. He needs repairs on it. He's going to lose his Pure Rage. And there you go. His Pure Rage has been cancelled. Now he's going to quickly try to build out another castle there. I hear a lot of arrows coming out, but he has a lot of Conquistadors there. He's trying to get out another castle right there. Magenta losing that canceling Impure Rage, it is going to be a bit of a problem because now he doesn't have access to trebuchets to hit that castle. He's not going to place another Impure Age now. This one's being upgraded from this one, the safe one. So that is not every day you say his Impure Age get canceled, but in this case it did happen. Green's going for Impure Age as well. Green will get Impure Age first, so he will deploy out the trebuchets first. This is a big problem for Magenta. But having a second castle out here will be very nice, but this castle has a lot of extra arrows thanks to all those Conquistadors in the back. And plus they're getting some good health regen while at it. Herbal medicine? No. Dude, now trebuchet being pulled out. It is being pulled out at this castle now. You also got a monk here. And he's actually targeted that wall segment on purpose. Interesting. Let's see, 4. This castle's firing 13 arrows, while both those castles are firing 4. Now green has a trebuchet deployed on the field, and so far Magenta has not really deployed out anything. He's getting a massive wave of archer rangers. He's the gods. What is he thinking? He's going to try to quickly garrison the castle of archers to increase the arrow count. Let's switch to the Magenta now. Green's just going for, he's getting fletching now, as well as a bunch of villagers. We got a massive wave of skirmishers being deployed on now. Why skirmishers? Is it probably to engage with conquistadors potentially? But I'm wondering, he's against Spanish. He's not going to be fighting against anything. He's not going to be fighting crossbowmen. You can't get crossbowmen. So I don't know what he's thinking with all those skirmishers. He should at least rally them into the castle. The castle will at least will get some extra arrows to help out in this fight. Magenta's now going for a pair of trebuchets as well. Magenta's now going for bracers as well. Okay, he's going to get 3 decent skirmishers at least. But I don't think elite skirmisher is the correct choice. I suppose he just wants something to help engage those conquistadors. Conquistadors who have 6 range, these elite skirmishers who have 8 range. So maybe maybe he's a bit more experienced than I am, and he's just trying to build them out to hit those conquistadors. Green's castle does go down. Magenta's castle is still up and going. Now purple's trebuchet, or Magenta's trebuchet is going to be eyeing to do a bit of a treble war. Let's get a direct hit there. His other trebuchets having a bit of trouble there. The monastery does go down for Magenta, and Green has claimed all 5 relics, which actually is quite significant. It's a decent amount of gold tithe. Skirmisher's now advancing forward. He's getting chemistry as well as pierce armor. And one of Green's trebuchets will go down. Green's advancing forward with a handful of villagers trying to repair up these trebuchets. One Magenta's castle does go down, trying to mass repair it up. He start hitting those villagers potentially, or the conquistadors. Let the trebuchets deal with those guys. Maybe some huscarls. Conquistadors receiving a bit of fire there from these skirmishers. Now we've got the chemistry upgrade. Doing a bit of a troll move there, but receiving a bit of damage there. He's going for ballistics now. And now got the villagers advancing forward trying to shank these trebuchets. Conquistadors are slowly going down. Villagers do manage to get a kill there on one of the trebuchets. Magenta has 102 villagers versus opponent's 105, so his villager count has not been decreased. So he's starting to lose some of these villagers now, but Green's going to lose some of his villagers. And now here's a big wave of barracks. Hopefully he gets this unique technology soon. Because the Huscarl is going to be very, very useful to help close the distance. And Magenta has a small reserve of gold, actually a decent reserve of gold. Not a lot of food at the moment. He needs more food. He has plenty of wood. Both sides have plenty of wood. And now we got some cavaliers put on the field. He will need to get out some spearmen. Now getting squires out, so going to go with his technologies, as well as spearmen. Huscarls can get. Oh yeah, and the current patch I have right now is I can't see what type of spearmen he can get because that it's just broken on part of the replay system. Got another line of barracks in front of us. Who's going to have 7 barracks? Who's going to have a mass production of melee units? We also got a nice little town center here with food and farms and everything. Cavaliers are pushing on Venus 1 now. We got now the pikemen research completed. Castle not being repaired anymore. Magenta does not have any stone remaining, nor does he have access to any more stone. Now we've got another castle being blown out. He does have trebuchets forward. He's repacking up his trebuchets to engage. And now these pikemen advancing forward. Now we've got the full halberdiers pulled on the field, going for armor as well. Trebuchets advancing forward. We'll find a good volley onto Green's castle. We got the horde starting to be accumulated. Cavalry will work better in open ranges. Of course, this is now going to become a bit of a city site. This urbanized environment is not going to be good for these cavaliers, but they do manage to slip on in to hit some hits on those trebuchets. Trying to repair up his castle, but there's too many trebuchets here. There's currently 4 trebuchets. You may have siege engineers. No, he can't even get siege engineers as a research option. But he can't get bombard towers. We've got now the pikemen trying to get some, or halberdiers trying to get some good damage in. Skirmishers does kill off on the villagers. Right now, Magenta has less villagers than opponent. We've got a number of green villagers on the front line doing nothing, so base the villager count is largely even. Now here comes the horde. More and more of these villagers pushing way forward. Not villagers, pikemen. Right now just pulling out trash, and his trash is a counter unit to his opponent's current composition. So spamming out trash is fine for Magenta. I guess he deleted that, may have been short off by the trebuchets. Got some light cavalry going forward now. Of course, they receive bonus damage from both skirmishers as well as pikemen, or halberdiers. Bombard cannons being pulled up by green, but there's nothing can stop back this horde at the moment. Trying to get some good volleys on that bombard cannon. Trying to repair it up in combat. Ooh, gets a good splash damage there. And getting some great splash damage there. Very, very nice. But the pikemen are halberdiers are in full force forward. The Goth player has a mass reserve of wood, small reserve of food. The Spanish player has a good reserve of food, wood, and small amount of gold. The Goth player has a massive reserve of gold. In fact, he's not spending any of it, which is very, very important. If he keeps spamming trash and clear out his opponent, let his opponent waste all of his gold dealing with the trash, soon then he can just go for a massive wave of Huskarls or champions and overwhelm his opponent that way. We have now some hand cannoneers on the field. I think hand cannoneers are going to be a better option than the Conquistador. He does have elite Conquistadors right now. Because why hand cannoneers over elite Conquistadors? They're simply just cheaper in the long run. And when he's fighting against this massive wave of infantry, sure, and elite Conquistadors can stutter step a little bit, but the hand cannoneers can simply just be cheaper, more disposable. Of course, it can be a bit problematic sometimes. And right now, he has a micro force. He's fighting against a horde of units. He needs just more of everything. And I also think hand cannoneers do bonus damage versus infantry. I don't think Conquistadors can do bonus damage versus infantry. So yep, he's getting more and more of these hand cannoneers to deal with his opponent. Got a bit of a firing lane for green, but there's just a lot of trash being spewed out from Magento's base. Hand cannoneers are starting to get overwhelmed. He needs to fall back, get these hand cannoneers regrouped, and maybe get out some more, like, it's hard to say what you should pull out. When you get this amount of force here, skirmishers and halberdiers, they're a great combination. They handle basically everything. Green may need to go for champions, honestly. That's what can best counter this force. Champions best resist both these forces. Can Spanish get Gambersons? I still don't know who gets Gambersons off my head. He can't get Gambersons, so I think he may need to transition to champions at this current rate. That may sound a bit stupid, but there's a lot of villagers up here doing nothing as well. He needs to get these villagers doing something. Maybe just click on the gold to get them doing something. Does he have supremacy researched? Oh, he does have supremacy. He's using villagers to engage the trash. How effective villagers versus trash? Supremacy villagers? They have 9 attack. The problem is they don't get attack or move, so they are a bit hard to use. If they get supremacy and they would get the attack or move order, that'd probably be pretty good. Let's see, 9 damage, 3. Sorry about that. 3-4 armor, 80 health, versus the halberdiers, which are 10, 2, and 60 health. So I think these villagers and halberdiers are on equal footing. Problem is, they are never going to be on equal footing since there's no attack order attack move command for those villagers. Looks like Green's starting to make its quick breakthrough over here, but Magenta has broken out through this region. Now we've got some exterior production here, and this gold and stone can be claimed by either player. Currently being slowly mined by Green, but that's about it. Obviously advancing forward. We do got these skirmishers advancing forward as well. Getting some good damage there. A couple barracks do go down, but he still has... he stuck the other player. 6 barracks at the moment. Looks like more like just 5. These skirmishers are advancing forward, so good number of hand cannoneers right now. Green may need to get out just a more of a front line. Halberdiers of his own, skirmishers of his own. Magenta's now pushing forward with some trebuchets, trying to hit Green's trebuchet, trying to deal with it. And Green's trebuchet does go down to a nice volley right there. A lot of Magenta's skirmishers are just getting annihilated. Green has a good firing line right here of various forces. Magenta does not have a big reserve of food anymore, and his wood reserve has greatly decreased. He also has a good number, a very, very large number of gold. And now here we go. I think he just got the Anarchy. Now there's a massive wave of Huskarls. He's transitioned and finally spent his gold. Huskarls have 16 attack and 10 pierce armor. And they also move pretty quickly. He does have all of his infantry upgrades. At the moment, he can't get the last set of armor. Green started to regroup his forces. Soon there's going to be a massive wave of Huskarls. Magenta does have a good number of trebuchets engaged the forward castles. There's also a severe number of bombards. And now here comes the Huskarls advancing forward. Got a high quality unit now advancing. Green has a severely large number of villagers in this region, which is actually not that great. But here comes the Huskarls advancing forward. They can withstand quite a bit of abuse from these skirmishers. But those bombards find a good hit there, and now these Huskarls are charging forward, getting some great damage, but receive a pretty good volley from those bombards. More Huskarls being forward now. He may not have the profusion just yet. Profusion, yep, that's the term. So it is building quite quickly. It's hard for me to tell, though. Got massive waves just pushing forward. Green has got to pull out some Hussars, which will be relatively effective versus the Huskarls compared to his other units that he's been pulling out. But still got a good number of Halberdiers in the mix. He does lose one of his trebuchets here. Trebuchets now trying to hit that castle. Bombards find a good volley onto the trebuchets. All the Magenta's trebuchets do go down. Magenta's just having trouble with a breakout right now, and it has nothing to do versus his bombard cannons. These forces are falling back. Castle does get some damage there. Does have also a handful of Cavaliers in the mix. Green has a sizable force, including a large number of hand cannoneers. These forces can't be rushing forward. They're splitting up his force. Ooh, I think just annihilated more of his own force with that volley. Some of those light cavalry or hussars go down. Magenta does also have a good amount of infrastructure here. The more you focus along the flanks, the better off he is, because that will force Green to advance over here along more surface area for this infantry to move around. Bombards starting to hit these various archery ranges here. Magenta's getting some more forces deployed on out. Got a handful of Cavaliers in the mix. The Huskarls advancing forward. Does Green have murder holes? Green does not have murder holes at the moment. Hand cannoneers are receiving fire from these skirmishers. Some of these skirmishers are being picked off along the flank. Huskarls trying to get those bombards. If he deals with bombards, he's able to advance a bit better. Skirmishers now getting overrun by the light cavalry. Got some Halberdiers going to come in the mix as well. Now there's a bit of a choke point here, which is good for the hand cannoneers, but also bad for his hussars as they're getting ripped apart from multiple angles. Skirmishers getting some great hits out of those hand cannoneers. Do only have 7 range, so the skirmishers do have 8 range. Halberdiers and Huskarls trying to pull into the flank. Does nail one's own Hussars over there. Another volley there. Gets a decent splash damage on those Halberdiers. This force started making their way forward. This force sort of getting stuck in the choke point there. Magenta's going to start closing on top of those hand cannoneers. And its gold is being claimed by Magenta. The stone has all been claimed up. Magenta has a big reserve of stone, so does green. Both can afford a single castle in their current reserve of gold, stone. Magenta has plenty of gold, so does green. Magenta's actually low in wood. Magenta does have 130 villagers versus opponent's 117. And it looks like we do got some market tech being researched by Magenta, and now we've got more and more Huskarls, skirmishers, and everything just being pulled on out. We got a full man spam. Green's front line's starting to fall apart. He may want to get these hand cannoneers inside the garrison. He can't get the siege units in the garrison, so those will go down. If he gets these hand cannoneers inside the garrison and get murder holes, that'll be a good hard point to deal with all the infantry units. Good follow there on those skirmishers, and now here comes Huskarls. Javier's trying to clean up those forces, and now Huskarls are going to be closing in on the castle. He's trying to get to those bombard cannons. These guys are severely bunched up. Does get a good splash damage there, but not in the most opportune time. And Canadians starting to get overwhelmed from multiple angles. Trying to deal with these Huskarls. They're not counting arrows, so they don't get the Huskarls don't get to do bonus damage versus or resist the bonus damage from the hand cannoneers. And now the bombard cannons getting overrun. Looting at these bombard cannons is very important now. Magenta's trebuchet is starting hitting Green's castle as well. Magenta's now trying to close this breach with a castle there. Very nice. And Green's castle does go down. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that could get overwhelmed, including a lot of stables. Green's right now just trying to pull out more hand cannoneers and more hussars. Another wave of hussars pulling out of the field. Not a whole lot of halberdiers in this region. Magenta doesn't have the wood production to really support a whole lot of halberdiers anymore. Halberdiers now, what halberdiers he does have does manage to close a bit there. You've got a very good number of hand cannoneers, but they're just simply too many units. If they're everywhere, he needs to shoot everywhere, but he simply doesn't have enough guns to shoot everywhere. He's a bit more DACA. Doing a good job of stutter stepping some hand cannoneers. They don't need to aim, they just need to fire. Hand cannoneers trying to back on off, he gets a volley there. Slowly picking apart this force. More hand cannoneers being pulled out, got a good number of halberdiers, and a lot of this infrastructure started going down. Green's hand cannoneers are falling on back. Does have the defensive castle there. He could start getting some more defenses, but now Magenta's getting a lot of trebuchets pushing way forward. Can't really leave this infrastructure alone. Maybe pull out a couple battering rams in this region to help clean it up. Wouldn't be half bad. I probably put a bit too much weight in battering rams, don't I? Castle now on fire. A couple of these skirmishers do go on down. And the halberdiers are getting gunned down as well. He has a good number of hand cannoneers, that's for sure. Magenta says question mark there. I'm not sure what he means. And now he starts transitioning to long swordsman. Perfect. But I'm not so sure how well they fare against Huskarls. Let's see. Going for more units there. The long swordsman's advancing forward. Magenta or green does have 2 swordsman upgrade. Can he get champions? He can get champions. Hand cannoneers trying to fire away. 2 swordsmen are going to do some more good work versus the halberdiers. You're only on a timer? I mean, he has a pretty good reserve of gold. Not really. He spent so much gold dealing with all of his opponent's trash. Magenta has plenty of gold for the time being. This game could go either way. Green shouldn't be so cocky just yet. But the champion transition is exactly what he needs, though. And now purple, Magenta's now going for his own two-handed swordsman, and then perhaps champion. Can gods get champions? Yes, they can. do miss one armor upgrade. Green, the Spanish does have all of his upgrades. Of course, Gamerson's as well. We do not have supply nor Gamerson's. Gamerson's does come after supplies, and the Goths simply cannot get Gamerson's. Which I don't suppose that really matters in this sort of engagement. Both sides are sort of backing on off. Green has spent his gold reserve. Magenta still has a gold reserve, but no future gold whatsoever. Now maybe one final engagement here. Green's infrastructure here is a bit exposed, but not like it will do much. Magenta's now pushing forward some trebuchets. Magenta can, of course, sit back. Now got a couple Hussars. Oh, that infrastructure that I mentioned beforehand is going to do something with this. With great flank from this Hussars onto those trebuchets. Got now the champions now gaining the champions. Hussars are now going to mix as well. Green champions doing some great work. It looks like Green champions win now, but got more champions being caught on out by Magenta. Now we've got more and more champions being fought out. Big skirmish here. And Magenta has spent his entire gold reserve now. Green does have a small gold reserve, of course. And Magenta's now pushing way forward with all of these champions. Hard to tell me who's winning, but I think Magenta's coming out ahead. Green still has a good number of hand cannoneers, however. Looks like Green may have bought some, sold some resources off for some gold. He went for those economic techs earlier on. Doesn't he have like a... Nope, there's no passive gold generation for anything. I'm thinking about a different civilization. Yeah. And now it's going to take time to clean up that infrastructure. He's keeping his trash over here. Stalling out his bundle of trash is not half bad. He also deploy out his own hand cannoneers. Very nice. And now I've got these Hussars trying to run away. Magenta's now trying to go for a castle here. Hand cannoneers getting some good damage on those Hussars. They receive some damage, not a whole lot. More Hussars being poured in out. Castle's still not been built. Or even started being built. Here's something slicing over here. Oh, looks like a Hussar trying to take out that house. And all these additional Hussars are going down immediately. The election count is in favor of Magenta. And he does have a little bit of extra population supported. These hand cannoneers of Magenta needs to make sure it doesn't get overwhelmed. Champions now closing the distance as well, so those hand cannoneers are now safe for a general attack order. Magenta's trebuchets do going down. And I think Magenta will come out ahead. He does have a lot of force here, but I think he has less champions, but he does have a good position of hand cannoneers. Green's hand cannoneers are being focused out by the skirmishers, so Magenta is microing his force to engage those hand cannoneers. But it looks like Magenta's force does get overran, but got more reinforcements trying to here. He does lose all of his hand cannoneers. But the higher production rate of Green is going to be by Magenta is very important. Also get a good numbers advantage, but he's of course fighting against a superior number of champions. Got now these Winged Hussars trying to break through this here. Realize it's just a single house there to engage. Got this castle here as well. Magenta needs to take time to clean up all this infrastructure, not to mention repair up this house. Because he can't be losing out any villagers at the moment. Got Halberds not going to move forward over here. Manages to also face forward here with a single trebuchet to hit that castle. He could keep a small force to the trebuchet as he deals with this force here. Got these Halberds pushing forward, trying to repair up this house. Very nice. Magenta has a good reserve of food and wood, so he's playing trash spot his opponent, but Green, he's low on food, as well as gold as well. That relic storage is good. And now Magenta's advancing on forward. Do we see Myrtles by the side? Now this side's gone for murder holes, so we can throw a whole bunch of hand cannoneers in that castle and just start unloading arrows everywhere. Got a good engagement there. These Hussars receiving quite a bit of fire, and now Green's Magenta's champions are overwhelmed Green's champions. Also got a couple halberdiers in the mix, that also sort of dilutes the number of units actually in that area that's actually champions. Got a big wave of champions being pulled out by Magenta. Scouts pushing way forward, trying to get those trebuchets, but they're already dead. Skirmishers getting some good volleys there on those champions. Still no force here to clean up. He's wondering how he's producing so many. He went for those trade upgrades early, and he got the better conversion rate from the market. I saw that. Since he went for the market, got those trade upgrades early, he was able to steal all the high-value trades in the beginning. And now he's pushing forward with a big wave of force. Magenta's making every single penny count. So Magenta's now low on food. And now low on wood. And gold. He sold off a bunch of that wood for gold right there. And now he's just using his better, cheaper champions. 35% reduction in champion costs as a great front line. He still needs to clean up this infrastructure. This infrastructure is a bit of a problem. I suppose pulling out battery rams over there is not a good idea because the barracks themselves can't produce things to counter the battering ram. Like I said, I put too much stock in the battering ram. And not to mention, Magenta does have the extra maximum population, which is very important. Because that means he can field more villagers or more military. A handful of skirmishers being pulled out over there. The other side has a trebuchet at the field. Looks like Magenta is now going for a trebuchet. And a couple of these halberdiers advancing on forward as well. Green is using the glass of a stone to repair up this castle. He only has 15 pebbles remaining. Make that 8 pebbles.
Gold, please.
The longer the game goes on, the better that the god player actually gets. That gold income is nice, but not everything.
Yes.
Remember, he can, if the food and woods reserve for the god officers are very, very important, because he could just queue up a whole bunch of units, and when he gets a massive wave, he'll just simply outproduce his opponent. They'll replenish the front line before his opponent can react. It's that gold. He's relying too much on that gold. Sure, it's nice. Who backed out of the game? Looks like Magenta backed out of the game. Darn, I think it was, I guess he didn't want to, I wish the game would have gone on longer. By the way, this is Great saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.